Hello, beautiful friends. It is with great joy that we reconvene in this moment of shared focus and expansion. We are delighted that you are rethinking your relationship to imagining in response to our invitation yesterday, after having declared your desire to experience a clear state. This desire to experience a clear state beyond all previous knowing of money was very powerful in your imagining yesterday for many of you. We marveled at how simple your imagining yesterday became more expansive. Learning to imagine that which you have not yet experienced, and feeling tremendously good while you imagine it, is a great gift to yourself. We want you to really take that in. Learning to imagine that which you have not yet experienced, even briefly, and feeling tremendously good while you imagine it, is a great gift to yourself. You will want this capacity to think of and see in your mind's eye, and to feel throughout your body and your energy, that which you have not yet known. You will want this ability to get stronger and stronger for each of you to recreate your experience of Earth. That's why we talked about all that yesterday. It is the power of your consciousness that you came here to use and play with. Now we're going to speak specifically on behalf of money, on behalf of money. Money, misunderstood money. Money, for starters, is simply a template of flow. It's a structure that creates pathways and movement. It facilitates movement, much like a highway or a sidewalk or a path through the woods. Money creates a means of flowing energy. Dear friends, remember energy, like everything, is love. Money is a form of attention. It has the capacity to amplify that which it touches, like attention, or like alcohol, which you find sometimes amplifies a person's mood or brings out an uninhibited version of them. Money is an amplifying aspect of creation that is active in your realm of focus. When one encounters money, they are amplified. This is a really exciting thing. You can demonstrate more fully the signature you are, and carry through expressing yourself creatively, more fully, when you have more money. Money amplifies your experience in that you often seek out and have access to what you consider to be in your world broader, more expanded, more refined, more high-quality experiences that resonate with you. There are certain things in your world that you could very much see yourselves enjoying, which would very much feel right to you to experience. Money is the way in which you access many of these things. Of course, someone could give them to you. This happens with many things. If you think about your lives, there are many things that effortlessly are given to you. There are also many things that the way in which you have access to them in your world is through the flow of money. You find yourself bringing into your experience, and creating and building with money, things that are more elaborated. That's the right word. They are an elaborated expression of you because everything you wish to experience is to fulfill your expression. Everything you wish to experience is because you sense it will fulfill your expression. Your drive is to elaborate. To elaborate is to develop more fully. In the same way, creation exists in many variations of distinctness which become what we experience as you and me. In your own particular focus you have the inclination, quite naturally, strongly and never going to go away, you have this inclination to elaborate yourself into variations of expression. This is a wonderful way to live as you, here and now. As you have ways to develop more fully your expression, you are shining in an expanded way, the distinct variation of love that you are energetically. More and more of the world will know this in a kind of unconscious way because their own wholeness will become more available because you represent that. As you expand and elaborate you within the collective field, it is fulfilling for everyone. But those whom your presence really and wonderfully affirms, or echoes, or in a sense even might help fill out their inherent remembering of love, will be drawn into a direct relationship with what you elaborate, as you extend into the material through this more liberated self-expression. They will be abundantly blessed by this and drawn to the elaborations that you are creating. Money being a pathway for energy to flow, and an amplifying energy, assists you in the material with this process of creativity and living an inspired life. You more and more flow expanded energy into your expression and this confident streaming of light into what you imagine. The exquisite joyful feeling lets you know that you are creating from a point of unity with all that you are and a point of alignment with what you want to experience. You are creating it confidently, knowing that as you decide it you can have it, and it's happening, and that's why you feel good when you're imagining it. This assists you with letting everything in. It lets everything in that is part of what you imagine. That includes money, connections, a sense of knowing about timing and action. All of this is able to come to you more clearly when you are open and in sync with the most expanded version of you. Each time you create a powerful movement in your field with your imagining, you must then remind yourself, in a sense, oh, that's now who I am. We really want you to get this. It happens in consciousness. When you imagine something and decide you want it, that's now who you are. Staying in sync with that, in a sense, in your perspective, it's how you keep up with you. If you decide you want something and then you stand there and say, but I don't have it. But I don't have it, you're out of sync with who you are. Because who you are is consciousness and your consciousness is caught up with all you've chosen. You have to remind yourself not to look at appearances and create polarity between you and you, because of the material reflection in the world. Because there is a little bit of a time lag between who you are and what is reflected in the world before they come into sync. There's just a little time lag. There's nothing else happening. It's just a time lag while things in the material happen. But when you look at the appearances and you think, oh, well I chose this and it's not here, then you're out of alignment with it and that experience can't connect to you. It's very simple but it takes practice. Remember, don't look at the appearances, don't create this polarity between you, and the material reflection. Just look at what is and enjoy it. Savor it because it's on the way out. It's in the process of changing. Allow yourself, too, to be alert to and recognize the indications that your creativity is coming forth more and more. Of course, as we spoke of yesterday, the first indications are the feelings of how every time you remember that you chose this and it's coming. Oh my gosh! It's coming! How exciting! The sensations you have, that is what truly defines the quality of your experience and your feelings. In this way, joy is where it's at. Or some version of upliftment, enthusiasm, joy, peace, bliss, being thrilled. All these kind of uplifted feelings. These are the ideal ways to have a very flowing, uplifted experience. The more joy that you're feeling, the more and more you're caught up with all that you have become because of your choices and your focus and imagining what you have not yet experienced. Let yourself enjoy from the very moment of imagining because the moment of imagining is the moment of creation. Money in your lives, like many manifest experiences, is an indicator of alignment. In this case it's an indicator of alignment with the money you wish to have or the abundance you wish to have. It's telling you in your life how much you're in sync with the fullest version of you. It's showing you how much you're letting in. Your financial state right now is telling you how much you are letting in. It's showing you how in sync you are with you. There is not a single one of you hearing this message who have not created more financial abundance than they are yet identifying with as their experience and therefore letting in. Each of you has more to receive than you've let in yet. Meaning that you've not yet been able to let go of old ideas of who you are, and stay caught up with who you create yourself to be in consciousness, and not get too distracted by the reflection and the material, and begin to give that the defining powers of who you are. We wanted to begin with a clear slate because we want you to know that this all takes a little practice. When you start with a clear slate and you choose, in addition to your imaginings, you choose some small things and you move in increments, you can build your confidence. You can learn to keep up with what you're imagining. Let's take, for example, what if you imagine living in a house on a lake? That's your vision, that you're enjoying imagining, that you're living in a house on a lake. Then you allow yourself to say, oh, that's where my life is going. I've chosen to live in a house on a lake. You begin to know that you are moving to a house on a lake. You might begin to say to yourself, I wonder where that's going to be. I wonder how long before it's going to happen. Is there anything I want to do here before I leave? What else do I want about this lake? I'd really like there to be a path where I could walk in the woods and look at the lake from above. I wonder where that is. You can start to play with this with a confident sense that you're kind of teasing out into the material that which you wish to experience. You can allow yourself, when you're sitting at your dentist's office in the morning waiting for your appointment flipping through a magazine, when you see a picture of a lake in the magazine, you can realize that you bumped into that because you're drawing those kinds of experiences to you. The picture is one way they're showing up. You can look at the picture and say, oh, yes. That's my life. That's my life. That's what I've chosen. That's what's now coming forth for me. My friends, you may think a lot of this is very separate from love and spirituality. In fact, by you living your life in that house on a lake, if that's what gets your being soaring and thrills you, by allowing that choice to be in your focus and creating momentum with it by elaborating it and feeling it in an exhilarating way as you imagine it, and beginning to allow yourself to revise your sense of what your life is because you've made that choice and you're now coming into realization, you elaborate the material expression of you by doing all this. This elaboration, this amplification of you, is not only exhilarating for you because you expand. You become more expansive in the material in this creativity. It is exhilarating because you become, therefore, more fully expressed. It also creates an energy field on the planet of you which is enlarged and more available. So the distinct arrangement, the harmonics of love that you are, is therefore also amplified and available to everything that is. But in particular to everyone with whom you are in shared focus on this planet. You see, money is a way for energy to flow into the material, and for you to express and experience greater fulfillment. It's a beautiful creation to assist you with elaborating and expanding within the material in this focus in form. Bless it. Bless your desire for it. This desire is innate within you. Because it's innately linked as an amplifying principle and a pathway, with your inherent desire to elaborate in the material the essence of love that you are. I am Archangel Michael.